I'd be lying if I said I didn't love money. Money is great. Money makes the world go round. I'd be lying if I said I never worried about it as well, especially as a print-on-demand seller, because unlike a 9-to-5 where you're getting the same paycheck every 2 weeks, your profits are just never guaranteed when you're the business owner. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 rules that I follow that allow me to effectively handle my money as a full-time print-on-demand seller. Because I think that finances are one of the biggest reasons that people won't take the leap and actually start their own business. Now, I know I will get some hate for this one, but honestly, it really gives me ease of mind, and this is my first rule. Absolutely no debt, or pay off the debt as quickly as I possibly can. Now, let me explain. I absolutely hate debt. Even as a kid, when I would ask to borrow money from my parents for a toy or something that I wanted, my mom would write down the amount and I would literally hate that it was hanging over my head. I just hated having the feeling that I owed somebody something. This rule gives me peace of mind. If my sales are down, I don't have to panic because I don't have a large debt payment hanging over my head. Now, you're probably like, what about cars and houses? How are you affording to just pay cash for those? 1, I don't own a house yet, but 2, I also did have a car loan at one point in time, but I made sure that I paid it off in 2.5 years. And now I have a fully paid for car that no one can take away from me. Heaven forbid my business completely implodes, which I'm not planning on it to implode, but my mindset is more of protecting my assets. As far as a mortgage goes, I know that someday I will need to take out a very large loan, and I know that I will probably hate every second of it, but my rule is to have no debt other than a mortgage at some point. And really, this rule probably seems ridiculous, but this is why I have it. Interest. In fact, the typical American household pays an average of $1,583 per month just in interest. That money is just getting flushed down the toilet. That's money that I can be putting back into my business, money that I can be using to grow my business even more, that would allow me to make more money that I can actually pocket and not just hand over to somebody. So my thinking is, if I don't owe anything to anyone, I don't have to put more stress on myself if my sales aren't perfect month after month. For example, think of Q4. It's great. You see some of the largest profits that you'll probably ever see in your business, but come Q1 and you are going to see your sales completely take a nosedive. And it's just the pattern that I've seen, especially in print on demand. So this allows me to plan accordingly and eliminate a lot of extra stress that would probably be put on myself if I was paying $1,500 a month in interest. Which leads me to rule number 2. Rule number 2 is that I have to invest and save every single month. This is the first thing that I do at the start of a new month. Now, typically before, when I was on my nursing salary and I was getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, I would just have money get taken out of my paycheck and immediately go into some investments and immediately into savings. But now that I don't have the steady income every 2 weeks, I do this at the beginning of the month so that I just know it's off of my plate. I know that I've done my savings and that I have done my investing. And then the rest of the month is making my living money, my living expenses, and I'm making sure that I'm not putting that on the back burner. This way, I have a safety net in place. By forcing myself to save and invest, I'm allowing my money to work for me, as well as having an emergency fund for any surprise expenses. Now, I'm not investing in just one stock or using things like Robinhood and investing in GameStop and trying to make it big. I'm not trying to day trade. I'm saving to a high yield savings account as well as to a Roth IRA. I don't get fancy with it. I keep it simple, but I stay consistent because, like in anything, consistency is key. And finally, that leads us to rule number 3. Rule number 3 is that I factor in my taxes. Now, I know there are tons of videos and shorts out there or TikToks claiming that people pay no taxes because it's all a deductible, or you put it into a trust and then your trust, you never pay taxes on it, whatever it may be. Like, yes, I'm sure to some extent that is true, but I don't think any CPA is going to be like, oh yeah, you absolutely won't owe anything. No. Most likely you're going to be paying taxes. Yes, there are deductibles, but I pay taxes every year still. Even though I have deductibles, I pay a little less in taxes, but it's not all a deductible. So do I still get deductibles? Yes, absolutely. But I don't go to the mall and just go, oh, I like that purse, it's a deductible. It just doesn't work that way. So what I do is that I make sure I have a business savings account where I move money for my taxes, and that kind of stays over there away from the cash flow of the business in my business checking account. And I mainly do this so that come tax season, when I have to write a nice big check to the government, I'm not shocked and thrown off. I think a lot of people will go through their year not thinking about it, and then they get to tax season and go, oh snap, I owe $50,000. I don't have that $50,000 to write that check. Now, there's many ways to handle money, and there's so much advice out there on the internet for what you should do. And at the end of the day, I like to take a more proactive approach, and I guess more of a safety type of approach. But as always, talk to a CPA, get a bookkeeper, and be smart about it. Most people will say that they can't start a business because of money reasons, but I think if you start some smart money habits now, then you will no longer have to have that as an excuse, and it'll just make it a lot easier to make that transition into taking that leap and actually starting your own business. So I hope that this video helped. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I personally do with my money. And these are the rules that I set for myself so that I'm never put in a position where I'm super stressed out or I feel completely overwhelmed. So if you enjoyed this video and are looking for more videos and tips like this for selling in the print-on-demand space, give me a comment on this video and subscribe to my channel so I can make more videos like this for you. Thanks.